Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Don't Play, and today we are back where this channel started, Elm Creek map and Field 34, but we're doing a little bit different today. Follow along on this really cool build. So I was talking to a buddy of mine who also plays Farming Simulator, and he was asking me about my channel and if I had any builds coming up. And to be honest, I've been kind of going through a building block. See what I did there? Building block? Anyway, he jokingly said, "Why don't you build my family farm?" And since I didn't have any other ideas, I thought, why not? So it took me a little bit to find a map, but as I was building my Supercuts videos, parts 1 and 2, out now on YouTube, and once again, this area caught my eye, and just goes to show why I believe this is the best area on Elm Creek to build your own farm from scratch. As I've said before, you know I hate taking up fields to build a farm, but this is a special circumstance, so I thought it was appropriate, and with 3 huge fields behind this build, there's lots of land for this pig farmer. Oh, did I just give it away? So, I've done some cleanup of the area, getting it all ready for my build, started the driveway, now I'm just getting things laid out, kind of how I want it, and let's begin. So you'll probably notice with this build, I'm going to do a lot of erasing, demolishing, rebuilding of a lot of things, trying to get this right because this is an actual farm in real life. I'm really trying to get it as accurate as I can, and also I've never seen this farm in person, so I'm just going off what my friend told me and Google Maps. I decided to use the big American house, which I did a review on a few weeks ago. Be sure to check that out. I like this house, definitely the look I'm going for. And for this build, I needed the garage to be on the right side to complete the look and match what was already there. I went with this shed again. I've used it a couple times. I really do like it. I do believe the shed that's there in real life is actually bigger, but I went with the smaller one just to keep the spacing similar to what's there in real life. And just like my own farm build, I'm trying to get it as accurate as I can to match what's there in real life, and then I'll come back later after I've played this build a few times and change what doesn't work in regards to gameplay. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and be a part of the channel. Farm builds are kind of my thing. I do a few mod reviews every once in a while, and I'm thinking about starting streaming. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, hit that subscribe button and be sure to turn on the notification bell so you know when my content pops up. Now it's time to add the silos. This is one of my favorite parts of the build. I think in this build, the size and placement of these silos give it the character of a real life farm, which it is. But there is a method to the madness. You can tell the farmer didn't build these all at once, but definitely wanted to keep his silos all in the same area. So he crammed them all in the same spot and made it work. Just like every other farmer out there, taking advantage of every opportunity when it becomes available. So once again, trying to match the look, I went with these Unai bins for pig food storage. I know I've used these bins in the past, but I just can't remember if you can use these for pig food. Let me know down below in the comments if you can use these for pigs. I'm seeing a lot of similarities between this build and my very first Elm Creek build. I'm using a lot of the original sheds and feed bins from that build, I definitely hope that my build quality has gotten much better since then though. Let me know in the comments if you agree or even disagree. This rustic barn with bale storage mod is one I've been looking forward to using, and this build was the perfect spot for it. So if you think this barn is something you'd like to use in your own builds, and you've already downloaded it, be sure to check in the silos area instead of the sheds. You might find it there. So after I got to looking, I put the barn in the wrong place, so I had to move it over, close that gap a little bit to make it look more like it does in real life. And for some reason, I deleted the straw shack, so I had to add it back too. As my friend was growing up, his family ran pigs on this farm. I think they've since given up the pig farming, but still do corn, soybeans, and hay on the farm now. But I'm here to build a pig farm for him. I think this is actually his grandparents' land, which is even cooler. So hopefully I'm doing it some justice and bringing back some good memories for him. The good thing about this farm, and one of the reasons why I really wanted to recreate it for him, was all the little details, like all these sheds kind of spread around in the fields for shelter for the pigs or cows or whatever they wanted to put out there. And obviously, I'd love to have been able to use lean-tos or cow shelters, but I didn't find any mods for those, so these little garden sheds will have to do. This farm is several hours north of where I'm from, but there's still a lot of similarities, and I'm sure you see the same similarities in your farm, no matter where you're from too. I have enjoyed most of Giant's American maps, well, except for Ravensport. That was pretty bad. And for the most part, they totally get the feel of an American map, but I think sometimes they just miss those little details that would put it over the top like they do in their European maps. Granted, I get that they're all from Europe, which makes sense, but sometimes I just want a little bit more from the American maps. So that's why I started building my own and putting them on YouTube. And that's what's great about Farming Simulator. You don't have to stick with what's in game. There's tons of mods that you can choose from to create your own farm just how you want it. And I really hope these videos can show you how easy it is and make you want to build your own. So get out there and build that farm of your dreams. You can do it. So here's a little trick I know I've spoken about before. If you're having troubles with your fence, build your fence first and then come back and add your placeables so that way you can get them right where you want them. Sometimes if you build the placeables first and then try to add your fence, depending on the mod, the collision could have a way bigger footprint than the size of the mod, or the trigger could get in the way as well. So I hope that helps when you're building fence. Trust me, this is way better than it used to be when you had to lay each individual fence section and hope that it matched and the height was never correct. Those were dark days for farm builders. Something I noticed while looking at the pictures to build this farm was that there was this cattle guard in the driveway, so of course I had to add it. However, the one thing I didn't notice in those pictures is that the fence stopped there. Of course, that's why you place a cattle guard, until after the recording was done. So I guess, my bad. So be sure to let me know in the comments how bad I screwed up. So where I'm from, we typically don't have raised gardens like this. We usually just take the tiller, plow up somewhere in the backyard, plant into that, but I wanted this garden to be usable instead of a field that I had to mess with. Someone give me an award. Those might be the 2 straightest fence lines I've ever built in this game. And after that great accomplishment in fence building, I have to delete all this fence here because it was just too close to the field. And it has to go away because we all know how hired workers treat fields with fences too close to the edge. It's like a dang magnet to them and pulls them right in. And maybe in the next game, Giants can hire the best driver in Farm Sim, Clutch, to teach them how to drive. Oh, who am I kidding? There's no help for them. Just like when I recreated my family farm, the fence lines are what make this feel real. You'll never find the right sheds or the house that are perfectly matched to what's there in real life, or the spacing, but for some reason, the fence lines and where those are in relation to the buildings just tie it all together, and for me, gives you that real feel in your brain. Well, hopefully if you've made it this far, that means you like this video. So smash that like button and let me and YouTube know you're enjoying this content. Hitting that like button is such a simple and easy gesture on your part, but huge for channels like mine. So if you enjoy seeing Farming Simulator in your timeline, so be sure to hit that like button for not just me, but all the creators you like to watch on YouTube. People have asked me, how can I support the channel? Well, one of the easiest ways is to buy me a coffee. Use the QR code above, you choose the amount, and I get a coffee, and I like coffee. So I call that a win-win. It's totally up to you, and a great way to show your support. So this is the part of the build that kind of takes me out of my comfort zone a little bit. If you've watched my builds, you know I like to build clean, very manicured farmyards. But this is a real world farm. And maybe it's not as active as it used to be. So there's some grown up areas. Some places that maybe just aren't used anymore. So the grass is a little bit taller. The bushes are a little bit thicker. Some trees have started growing. But hey, everyone has that spot on their farm. And this one's no different. So you've watched all my videos, and you think this Farming Simulator game is pretty cool, and you want to check it out for yourself, but you don't have it? Well, you can fix that. Use the QR code and get Farming Simulator on PC today. You don't even have to wait for it to be sent to your door. As soon as it's downloaded, you can start playing. That's a pretty cool deal. That's how I started, watching Daggerwin play on YouTube. And I used his code to download the game, And look at me now. I'm posting my own videos on YouTube. That could be you. Give it a shot. Download it today. Definitely like the more rustic look that I'm going for in this real world farm. Really hope I can capture the character of all the generations of work that's gone on in this farm. And yeah, maybe it's not as active today, but it's still an awesome farm. I think this build would be a perfect start to a Let's Play series where you purchase this property, clean it up a little bit, and bring it back to its glory days. What do you think? Would you guys like to see me do that? Start off with a tight budget, lots of loans, turn the pastures on either side of the driveway into some fields, work my way up to better equipment and cleaning up the yard a little bit. Are you interested? Leave a comment down below. And those of you interested in logging, this would be a perfect area to incorporate the Platinum expansion. Use some logging equipment, turn that area into a field. Platinum expansion, you say? You don't have it yet? Oh, we'll use this QR code right here to download it. With so many trees on this build, and logging becoming such a big deal in Farming Simulator, anyone know of an American style wood stove that's available to download? I think it'd be the perfect look for an older style farm just like this. So this is the hay lot for the farm, and I looked through all the bale storage mods, and I just couldn't find anything that I thought fit this build. So if you've checked out my short, you've seen the behind the scenes of how I created the hay lot. So starting to wrap this build up, just putting some finishing touches on some areas here. I really like doing these real world builds. I think it takes my builds to the next level, and I hope you do too. It's really cool to take something that's there in real life and put it into the game. An old farm like this is a natural spot to have a cattle guard. If I was that old farmer, I wouldn't want to open a gate either. Just drive right on through and tend to your livestock. Just like I always do, let's take a walk around this farm. Let's start from the ground level, and I'll show you how everything lays out and works together. Here's the hay storage area, just a little dirt road that takes you along the side of the bales. In real life, this would go off to the left and circle around, but I didn't have room to because of the main road and the creek that's there. So let's take a look at the house and the shop. Don't ask me why the driveway goes in front of the house and then cuts back to the other side, but it does give it some character. Here's the silo area. Yeah, it's a little tight, but I think it's manageable. Here's a couple more storage buildings. I know this is another bale storage barn, but I really wanted the look of this barn, so this is what I went with. It follows the look of the real farm, so plenty of storage. I guess you could turn this into a cattle farm. 3 big lots for all your animals, cattle, sheep, and pigs. Oh my, what a farm. Then we have this medium storage shed for all your equipment. And then we go back down the driveway and head out of here. Now time for everyone's favorite, the flyover, and this one's a little different. Here's what it looks like in real life. And here's what it looks like in game. Let me know how I did. I think I got pretty darn close. And that's it for this real world farm build. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit that like button, leave a comment on this video and all my videos, and share with your friends and family. And if you want to watch more of my videos, hit those links on the screen now. And remember, I'm Matt Don't Play.